Good morning. I'm so happy that you're here with me on this last Sunday in June. Can you believe it? Summer is just zipping by, and I'm so happy that we can be together. My name is Reverend Martha Quintana. I am the senior minister here at the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living, and I'm so happy that you can be here in this community with our community today, helping me in service today. I'm so grateful for all of the people who come together for this service. Helping me in service today with invocation is our very own Chris Duval. And with helping us with music, our Kamatara and Ken Johnson, I am so grateful. Also on High Watch, and they're all over town, are Teresa Grieco, Julia Washington, Kathy Mathiasen, Toby Pope, Greg Gardner, and a whole host of other folks, Marilyn O'Leary. Oh my gosh, there's so many people that are here helping us today with this service, holding the High Watch. And by holding the High Watch, I mean that they are praying and blessing each person that is tuned in either now or later. They are tuned in, and I am so grateful that they're here to help me. And then finally, across the river, we have our IT goddess, our tech goddess, and that is Annette Martinez. She is helping us across the river, and you'll probably see her a little bit later. And remember that after this service today, we go into our social hall, and I put that our tech social hall, which is Zoom. And if you would like a connection to Zoom, please contact Annette. Either put it in the chat comments, and she will make sure that you get a connection to Zoom afterwards. And it's a nice time to connect with the community, to let everybody know what is going on. So welcome. I am so very, very happy that you're here. Thank you for being here. And with that, I would like to invite our very own Chris Duval on to do our invocation. Hello, Chris.
Hi, Reverend Martha and everyone. Let us breathe together, breathing in through our heart, up through our minds, and back down again and out, synchronizing heart and mind and soul as we begin this service today. I know and I recognize and I invoke the oneness of life, the wholeness, the completeness of it, the goodness of it. I know that it is here, it is present and powerful and intelligent in this service today, in, through, and as each one of us. For in it we live and move and have our being. We find our love. We reflect the balance and the poise and the rest that it is, in spite of any circumstance that we may be facing. And so I am so grateful for this service today. I'm grateful for Reverend Martha and her connection, her unity with Spirit, and the gracious, supportive words of Spirit that she speaks today. I'm grateful for Kamatara and Ken and Annette and the ease of the audio and tech today. I'm grateful for every High Watcher and every participant in this service, knowing that as our hearts are connected in this oneness, as we feel one another and recognize one another, that we send forth a powerful vibration of truth today. And so I know that this service is greatly blessed, and I just allow it to unfold in its perfection and declare it done. And so it is.
Thank you so much. Chris is such a powerful practitioner, and I'm so glad she can be with us today. Today, we are talking about the fact that all is well, and truly all is well. There's a part of us, a spirit inside each of us, that knows that everything is okay. And no matter the trials and tribulations, everything is okay, ultimately is okay. At one point when I was sitting with a woman as she was getting ready to make her transition, she turned to me and she said, "Reverend Martha, what's it going to be like? Is it going to hurt? Is it painful?" And I said, "Well, I don't really know. What I do know is that ultimately it'll be okay. Yes?" And she said, "Yes." And I know she went through it with the bravery. And that's the end of life, but we're right in the middle of it, and we're already immortal. So there is no time at all where anything is wrong. Spirit does no wrong. Where we're lacking, where that limitation falls, is in our belief. And that's what I'm speaking about today, is where is that knowing that all is well, everything is fine. How much more can I stretch? Can I stretch just a little farther, just a little farther? I remember when I was in first grade, I had just started school, and my oldest brother, Mike, he's 10 years older than me. My oldest brother, Mike, I think he was assigned to make sure I made the bus on time. And so I remember walking with Mike to the bus stop, and my brother, like all of my brothers, I have 4 brothers, and they're all between about 6'3" to about 6'6". So he's a tall guy, he's a big guy. And so we saw the bus in the distance. I remember looking at the bus, and he looked at me and he says, "We've got to run. We have to run." And he took off running, and my little legs went running with him. And I remember my toes touching the ground at moments, but really he was doing all the running, and I was kind of, I think, bouncing behind him, each toe, like just touching and touching. And I remember that we made the bus in time. And so I waved goodbye to my brother, who I adored, and I still adore to this day, my older brother, Mike. I waved goodbye, and I imagine that often spirit is very similar, that even though at times it's not comfortable, spirit grabs us by the hand and says, "We have got to run. We've got to make that school bus. We have to make that education. For we're here to learn. We're here to have this experience called life." And as spirit is running with us, there was no way that Mike was going to let me miss that bus. And I was with him on it, even though he did most of the running. I was there, I was like, okay, I can do this. We can do this. Spirit never fails. It can't, and it won't fail. The only thing that happens is that I don't believe. If I had sat down crying in that moment and said, "Oh, Mike, we'll never make the bus," or "No, Mike, but I believed that he believed it, and I knew we could make that bus," and we did. And I remember just feeling exhilarated that we made the bus. Well, looking back now as an adult, Mike made the bus, but I believe that spirit is like that too. Just when I think that I'm not going to make it, or I think that, oh gosh, that thing seems so far away, it's not the case at all. It is not the case at all. Spirit has a reason for each of us to be here, and each spirit is different. The reason that your spirit is here is separate from the reason that my spirit is here. There's a woman, I want to read a quote from an incredible dancer and choreographer named Martha Graham. She wrote, "There is a vitality, a life force, an energy, a quickening that is translated through you into action. And because there is only one of you in all of time, this expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium, and it will be lost. If you block it, it will never express through any other medium, and it will be lost. The world will not have it. It is not your business to determine how good it is, nor how valuable, nor how it compares with other expressions. It is your business to keep it yours clearly and directly, to keep the channel open. There's work to be done. Let's get to it. All is well. What would this world look like if I believed in myself completely and I knew all was well? What would your world look like if you believed in yourself and you know that all is well, that ultimately it's not there? It's so often that we begin to tell the tales of woe, and that especially in a group of people, that people begin telling each other, well, gosh, you think you have it bad. You should see how bad I have it. I've actually had people, there was a class that happened here at the center, and it had to do with spiritual economics. And there were students in that class, and a couple of them came to talk to me, and they said, you know, I am doing so well. One particular student said, I am doing so well in my life. And so income had increased, he was abundant, he felt loved, life was good. And I said, have you shared this with the class? And he said, no, I dare not share it for fear I'm going to make someone feel bad. Ugh. I said, share it, for God's sake, share it. We are here to talk to each other about the good news, not in terms of bragging. That's not what I'm saying. But when we can help bolster somebody. How many times have we heard a story where I've been there, and a lot of times I don't even bother to tell the person, yeah, I've experienced that one too. I just say, I know it can happen. I know it can be better. We plant these seeds of intention from the place of all is well. We plant these seeds of intention into the ground, and we allow it to sprout up. Now, here's the hard part. The hard part is going through the hard part. The hard part is not being comfortable, not knowing the outcome. And this, from me, a person who likes to sometimes read the last page of the book to see how it turns out, I have to let it go. I have to see how the story unfolds. And how that works is I say that all is well. So there are a couple of things that we do once we've had the spiritual experience. And the spiritual experience often isn't a burning bush. The spiritual experience happens when, in the morning, have you ever had this feeling you look out in the day and it's like, oh my God, what a beautiful day. Look at the color of the sky, the color of the leaves, the birds. I had that the other evening. The sun was setting, and there was a few brief moments where the color was amazing. You know, these sunsets in New Mexico, and I was caught up in one. That is a spiritual experience. And so when we have those spiritual experiences and we get them embedded in our souls, that we know that faith is there, it is important, necessary that each of us take that next step. We know faith without works is dead. So it's not enough just to allow ourselves to say, wow, I'm having a spiritual experience. Isn't that great? That's not enough. The second part is to take action. Ernest Holmes writes, work without vision is drudgery, but vision without work is self-deception. So work without vision is drudgery, but vision without work is self-deception. The well-balanced person can walk with his or her head in the clouds and still keep his or her feet solidly planted on the ground. Faith and work are ineffective when separated. Faith and work are ineffective when separated. Ah, yes. So what we begin to do is then when we step into that action, yes, so we're moving into action, we don't just run screaming off a cliff and, cannonball into what we hope is a creek. No, we begin to take mindful action. And the mindful action comes from this idea that we have had this faith, we have this vision, and we take the next step and the next step and the next step and the next step. That is mindful action. And when we combine the two, the faith and the mindful action, when we combine those two things, then we begin to know that all is well. Sometimes we just can't see it. Sometimes we just can't see it. But truly, 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 all is well. And don't let what appears to be failure stop you. And here's why. So sometimes, so spirit can't do anything wrong, right? And so here's the limitation is our belief in it. So here's some stuff. Here are some people that they never let what we call failure stop them. So consider this. After Fred Astaire's first screen test, the memo from the testing director of MGM dated 1933 said, "Can't act, exclamation point, slightly bald, can dance a little." Astaire kept that memo over the fireplace in his Beverly Hills home. An expert said of Vince Lombardi, he possesses minimal football knowledge, lacks motivation. Socrates was called an immoral corrupter of youth. Louisa May Alcott, the author of Little Women, that series of books, was encouraged to find work as a servant or seamstress by her family. Walt Disney was fired by a newspaper editor for lack of ideas. Walt Disney also went bankrupt several times before he built Disneyland. Thomas Edison's teachers said he was too stupid to learn anything. Albert Einstein did not speak until he was 4 and didn't read until he was 7. His teachers described him as, quote, mentally slow, unsociable, and adrift forever in his foolish dreams. He was expelled and was refused admittance to the Zurich Polytechnic School. And here's one of my favorites. Winston Churchill failed 6th grade. He did not become Prime Minister of England until he was 62, and then only after a lifetime of defeats and setbacks. His greatest contributions came when he was, quote unquote, a senior citizen. Spirit can't fail. It's us. It's the belief. I can't go any farther. Spirit has us by the hand, and as we are running as fast as we can toward that school bus, and it is not our job to sit down. It is not our job to sit down. It's our job to continue running, even when we think that our feet are not touching the ground. So faith without works is dead. All is well. What would happen? How would you be? How would I be if we knew that we couldn't do no wrong, that everything is okay, that we're here to have this experience of life as ourselves, as Martha Graham, one of the greatest dancers ever, one of the greatest choreographers ever. She pointed out that there is only us, each of these people that I just read to you about, they had failures, what were called failures, rejections. They did not rely on someone else's opinion of them. All is well. All is well. So we return to that balance of all is well. It's with the absolute unerring knowledge that spirit can do no wrong. Spirit can do no wrong. And it is with the unerring knowledge that it's really our belief that takes us to that next place and to that next place and to that next place. I believe, and I ask you to believe in yourself. I believe in myself, and I know that spirit is walking with me, running with me, allowing me to be me. And today I ask you to do the same. What would the world look like if you knew that your life is perfect and that all is well. And no matter the circumstance, all is well. Have a fabulous week. Namaste. So now is our prayer time, and I would invite all of the practitioners all over town, wherever you are. Actually, they're all the way up to Taos, everywhere around the world, all of them who are watching right now, to circle our congregation with your good thoughts as we have this prayer. There is one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. It is that perfect life of every single person who is with me now and all who are yet to come. That perfect life extends out into the world like rays of sunlight. It meets people lovingly, unconditionally. This one perfect life that manifests in each person as each person perfectly allows each person to go as far as his or her belief allows. And today I recognize that that belief is inside each of us right here, right now, as I am unified with this one perfect life. Anything unlike it falls away, and my belief stretches as far as forever. And as I know this for me, I know this for every single person who is with me today, who is watching this broadcast. Every single person is so unified with spirit that anything else falls away, and he or she, it, every person here, belief stretches into forever. I affirm and declare today all is well. No matter the appearance, no matter the chaos, no matter the anger, the fear, I affirm and declare that all of us stand together, shoulder to shoulder, knowing for ourselves and each other that ultimately all is well, that the Spirit is speaking to each of us in the language, in the way that we can hear, and that as each of us walk out boldly into this one beautiful life, that Spirit goes out before each of us, making clear and smooth our way. For today is a good day. Today is a day filled with love and goodness, happiness and joy. And I accept it today. I accept it on behalf of all of us. And as each person here accepts it for him or herself, then each person knows that goodness again and again and again. It is a good day. And I am grateful. I am grateful for this beautiful day. I am grateful for the spiritual experience of each moment, of a color, of spirit uniting with itself, that I might know myself even more. I am grateful for this community called Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. I am grateful that we are walking shoulder to shoulder on this beautiful path of goodness. I am so grateful. And so it is with great gratitude that I release my word, knowing it cannot come back to me void, knowing that as I've spoken, it is done. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so now is the time during our service where we share our gifts with each other. And I can tell you right now that the best way to do it is through text, and I'll put the number up here in a minute. Oh, I can do that now. It's through text to 207-3101. That's 505. Or you can go to our website, rgcsl.org. And also, due to your beautiful donations, our video equipment arrived, and we will be doing that in a couple of weeks, but I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a bit. For now, I'm going to invite Kamatara and Ken Johnson for a special song just for today. Hi, Ken. Hi, Kamatara.
Guys. Hi, Martha, and hello, beautiful spiritual community. So good to see you this morning. And I know right now a lot of people are turning to comfort food in times that feel kind of rough or unwieldy. And for me, comfort food is music. And this song in particular is really loving and supportive. And it's a chant. And so what's really nice about a chant is that it stays with me and it washes over me. And then I wake up tomorrow morning and my head is singing it. And it's just like this gift that just keeps on giving, or like this extended release tab of medicine for my soul. So we're gonna share with you the song All Is Well by Karen Drucker. And I know you know this song, so I hope that you'll just sing along and let it wash over you and just lighten any feelings of stress, worry, anxiety that you may have right now. Just let it all disintegrate in the vibration of the music. 1, 2, 3. All is well, I can rest, I am safe. All is well, all is well, I can rest, I am safe. All is well, 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 I can rest, I am safe, all is well. All is well, I can rest, I am safe. All is well, all is well, I can rest, I am safe. All is well, 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 I can rest, I am safe, all is well. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Oh, I just love those two. All right. Well, we have so many good things coming around our center, and there are 4 things that I wanted you to know about. The number one thing is we are planning, because our video equipment has arrived this week, a special shout to Kamatara Johnson and Annette Martinez, who are right now, as we speak, installing that video. So the plan is that on July July the second Sunday in July, we will have our first Sunday service here without congregation, because we need a couple of Sundays to bring our musicians back in to talk about our new equipment. And then our very first Sunday with congregation is going to be July 26th. So we will let you know a little bit more as we know more and what to expect. There'll be social distancing, and it's actually not social because we're still social. It's physical distancing, etc. So we know that. Plus, I wanted to tell you about something that's super exciting that's going on. The CSL home office, there are about, let me preface this by saying there are about 435 centers all over the world of centers for spiritual living. Next year in February of 2021, during the week of February 15th, they will have, the home office has its virtual convention, meaning that they broadcast from various locations around the world. And our center was chosen to be one of 4 that we will be broadcasting from. We have been chosen to do the Wednesday night service that week, and I am so excited. So we are one of 4 centers out of 435 centers in the world that have been chosen to broadcast from here. And what's beautiful about that is they asked us, just as we finished remodeling and refurbishing our sanctuary, so we can actually do this. So I'm so excited. So here's the thing. If you want to come to that virtual convention, which will be right from your home, we can do it now half price if we do it in groups of 10. And our very own Marilyn Kirk she is the one collecting people so that we can all do this at a half price right now. And I think it's like $50 rather than $100 to register. So to get a hold of Marilyn, her email address is Marilyn, MARYLYN, Mary Lynn Kirk, KIRK, at Comcast.net. Marilyn Kirk, KIRK, at Comcast.net. Or you can call the office and talk to CJ, 224-9405 here at the office, and she'll get you in touch. But it's a really great way for us to all be together. It's so exciting, and I'm really happy that we're getting to do this. So that's the second thing. The third thing is our Kamatara Johnson is organizing a series of group studies called Me and White Supremacy. It's a book study on that book. And so that is going on now. So get a hold of Kamatara, and it's easy to do, kamatara.johnson, KAMATARA.Johnson at rgcsl.org, and she will get you in touch. And then finally, our very own Carol Ann, our social hall goddess. She's our food angel. She's doing a recipe book, and I wanted to do a shout out. This had started right before the pandemic hit, and she is still working on this. So if you do have a recipe, CJ can get it to her. So if you send that to office@rgcsl.org, CJ will make sure that Carol Ann gets the recipe and that it is included in our RGCSL recipe book. So that's our day. So thank you for being with me today. I'm bringing Chris, she's very formal at Christine, but she's Christine Duvall back up so that we can say goodbye. Namaste.
Namaste.
And stay tuned. Go to Zoom if you would like to have coffee with us. Bring your coffee. See you in a bit. Bye.